Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, and today we're unboxing the YoloBox Pro. I have the YoloBox, now it's time to go Pro and see what the differences are. I'm going to do that next on Geekazine. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put Into Geek, and you got me. You can find everything over at geekazine.com. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell notification. First, I do have to say this. I did get product from Yololiv to review, but all opinions are of my own. They do not get a say in how this is reviewed. I got a full review page over at geekazine.com/review that answers all of those questions and tells you how you can have your product reviewed right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and unbox. This is the YoloBox Pro right here. And what was really funny is like it came in a whole bunch of tape. I had to take off all the tape off the primary box to get to this secondary box. And open that up, and there it is right there. That's the YoloBox Pro from Yololiv. It's got multi-camera production, touchscreen. You can go live up to 1080p, and of course multi-view. You can also bring in lower thirds, you can bring in scoreboards, and a lot more. We've got, let's see what we got here. Looks like a protective screen right there. So we're going to leave this in its protective case, and here it is, the YoloBox Pro. That's a big sucker. It's a little bit bigger than the original YoloBox, but there's a lot more in here, and we'll get into more from here. We've got a quick guide in this document right here, and inside here we've got a few cords. We have a SIM card key remover, so this does have the ability to connect up a SIM card. We got an Allen wrench right here, so a couple tools. We've got a USB-A to USB-C cable. Looks like we got a USB-C to USB-C cable. Oh, this is basically a tripod mount stand for whatever you need. We've got the original YoloBox right here. Here's the YoloBox Pro. Here's the YoloBox. You can tell there is a big difference in the size. Looks like we got at least inch or two more. This is an 8-inch display. It's got a Qualcomm 660 CPU, which is 2 times faster than the original YoloBox. Inside here is 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of ROM, and it has a brightness of 400 nits. You can connect up via Ethernet or Wi-Fi 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, same as this one. And of course, the connections are the big difference. This allows you 3 HDMI inputs, 1 HDMI output. This one, the original, only has 2 inputs and 1 output. They both have USB-A outputs, which you can plug in a USB style camera and get a third or fourth camera out of it. But of course that does take power out of the battery, which there is an internal battery inside of both. The YoloBox Pro has a 10,000 milliamp battery inside there, which will give you about 4 hours worth of streaming and recording. It has 3 HDMI inputs, so 3 different cameras can come right in here, and a fourth one with this USB port. And you can do cameras, you can do other things, storage or whatever, but it can also support a camera. We've got an Ethernet jack right here. We've got a HDMI output, so this can go out to a computer source or another switcher or anything like that. We got a USB-C connection. There's actually 2 of them. This one's for charging the unit, and this one is for data pass-through. Over here is a headphone jack. We've got a line in for a microphone or another source, and we have an output right here to go to another computer or recorder. Nothing here on the side. We got on the other side, nothing here as well. You'll notice the slight perforations down here, and I think that's a vent, so it's very important not to block this at all the way around. But on the bottom, it's pretty solid. It's actually got a rubber bottom on it, so it can set on the ground and hold its own. So you can put it onto like a stand at an angle and still use things. We have a single 1/4 inch threaded holes, so you can put it into your camera rig. And then of course we have the SD card and the SIM card right here, and the power button. Now I didn't charge this at all, so let's see if this turns on. Look at that. And there we go. We're being asked which language we want. We'll choose English. We'll say where we are is Chicago, so we'll just say that, and we'll say done. And of course, it's asking me for my credentials, which I'll have to put in right now. So before you do that, you do have to connect up to a network, either through the Ethernet or through a wireless network. We'll connect it up in a second. But before we do, I do want to show you, you don't need to sign in. You can go straight to monitor mode and do whatever you need to do to get things set up, to do recording, and a lot more. All right, looks like I got all the updates, so we're good to go. I logged back in, and very interesting enough, it has all the events that I had on the original YoloBox now here on this YoloBox. So I don't know if it's going to share back and forth between the two. If I hit the plus button, I can create a live stream, or I can go into monitor mode. Let's go into monitor mode. We have our layers area where our overlays can be put in, and this is where we can bring in images. This is where we can bring in other videos, lower thirds, countdown timers. We'll just do a countdown timer. I want to change a few things. Our text color, let's bring in a nice yellow. We can scale that so we can bring this up nice and tight, or we can bring it down and make it very small. And then we'll move that right there. So now it's got a good countdown timer, and I'll be able to put up a video of some sort. So we got that. Let's take a look at the rest of the settings here before we continue on. Next button is the socials, which will not activate because we're not set up for any type of streaming yet. And then the next one is also dealing with once we're connected. Over here we have volume. We can audio mixer, so we can bring in stuff through that line in like a computer or something like that. We've got our scoreboard display, which we're not going to use, but you can definitely bring in something like that for a scoreboard into if you're doing like a sports event or something, anything like that. Next one's chat. Once you start streaming, then this will become active, and you'll be able to see what's being said on the social network that you choose. We can do an auto switch setup. You can choose the video sources that you want auto switch, and then it will actually, through a amount of time, you can do it sequentially or randomly, and then it will switch back and forth after so much time. Then we've got the main settings right here. Inside here, we have our video switching source. We can single click or basically double tap on the screen. We got our SD card management. No card is in here yet, so we'll have to put that in. Program out. What this means is when I connect up a HDMI out to go to a computer or another switcher or something like that, I can switch this on, and then what feeds out of there is actually a clean feed, just the program. That would send it out, and then I could use something like OBS, Wirecast, vMix to capture that. USB-C out, same thing. Basically saying when you do that, you gotta add HDMI sources, and you can't use the USB port out there. But I can definitely hook this up to the computer. Once again, use it as a web camera to send this out to something bigger. Video source transitions, we can do a simple cut or a fade. You can choose that. We also got wipe, directional wipe, simple zoom, squeeze, cube, and a lot more. We got the encoding settings. Do you want constant bit rate? Do you want variable bit rate? So it's got recording limits in here, and that means that right now it's set to 10 minutes, which means after 10 minutes it's going to technically stop and restart, giving you a brand new file. So it'll break it up into smaller files, which you would then transfer over and put back into one big file. Storage settings, of course, you can say SD card or USB storage. You can choose which one from there. And I think that's it for all the settings here. So now I'm going to hook up some cameras. I'm going to put a card in, and we're going to set up a simple couple screenshot switch. All right, here we go. We got it all set up now. So I turn off this camera, this screen, so you can see it on the overhead. Let's go ahead and take a look at this is everything I have right now. It's kind of stuck. So let's go to the overhead to show you what we got here. First of all, we have the primary camera. That is this camera right here, and I'm pointing right at it. You see that in the screen right here. Secondary camera is the screen in back, the PTZ camera that I'm using, my over-the-shoulder camera. Third one is a web page of mine. Then, of course, the fourth one is actually a USB camera. It's one of my OBSBots that's just sitting right up there. So that's basically the 4-camera shot. We also, and that's the USB. So camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, USB, and an Ethernet, and then this is the program out. Now the program out will take you right here, and that's what you're seeing right now. So when I switch between cameras, you'll see camera 1, and then we'll go camera 2 right there, and camera 3. Then of course you have the USB camera 4. This is if program is not set up properly, so you can kind of see what's going on. So this can kind of be a way for a producer or somebody else to be watching how you're switching through a secondary screen. Now we can also add a video source. We've added all our video sources, but we can add in a local video file, picture-in-picture video, split view. We'll do a picture-in-picture video right there. And the primary is going to be our web screen, and we're going to hit next. Our secondary is going to be, we'll do me, and we'll hit next. And now, as you can see, I'm in the bottom corner. I can make this, I can fix this around. We've got a little border thickness. We can scale it so we can make it bigger and smaller. I can move it with my finger if I want to. I can change that border color. We'll go black. We can swap the video easily, just like that, and swap back, and then we're done. That's our split screen. So now our picture-in-picture goes like that. Now to see it as if you want to see it from here, let me just switch this. Remember that setting that said program out. Now we're going to hit that button, and now that's the main program out. So that's my primary video. Let's do this. This is my primary video. A little bit blurry. Sorry, I didn't have time to really focus it. My over-the-camera shot right here of the product. Web page that you can see. And then, of course, the picture-in-picture video of me talking while the web page is right there. And then our USB camera. Now that we have this all set up, we can now get ready to do some sort of streaming. We can do our video output mode. Well, you're not seeing that right now. Let's go back, turn off the program out here. We can change our video output mode to DP or HDMI. We got HDMI out. We can choose our transitions. We didn't do the transitions before. Let's do that right now. Let's go to cross zoom so you can see how that works. We'll turn the program feedback on. I'm going to switch back over here. And there, that was the cross feed. It's a little bit slow. There we go. As it's figuring things out. There we are. So as you can see, just a touch bit of a delay when it comes to that. It's very slow. Maybe you need a squeeze, and you can play with a few of these. There's the squeeze right there. Simple fade, like that. And then just a straight up cut. Boom, boom, boom. You get the idea. Let's put in our card. So we'll go ahead and insert that card. And notice it's pins up for that card. It should click. There we go. And now the SD card will be active. And now we'll go over to storage settings and we'll see SD card right there. So we'll be able to record from there. Like I said, we could also bring in a video or a file. That's where the layers would come in. Image overlay, of course, we don't have anything. They do have some of the defaults in there. And now we have a couple different images to come in. We didn't show you the, let's do that, the lower third. And then we'll bring that in. And then, of course, we got to change our name because I'm not Jenny Wong. And we can change the fonts. We can change the colors. Let's just do that really quick. Let's change this. If I go, and I'm going to hit done this time. I'm going to do that done. So I'm going to go here and program out. And now when I go ahead to the layers, I can bring in my lower third just like that. So I got my lower third up. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a timer out, so you'll have to tap it again to get it out. But you can, like I said, you can tap all the layers so we can get a 2-minute. And this doesn't have to be a countdown thing. This can be you got 2 minutes to state your case and then you're done. That's a lot from a little device like this, all in your hand. And it's easy to use. It's compact. And like I said, I haven't used it in real world, so I'm definitely going to run a couple tests. What do you guys think of it? Did you like it? Is it amazing? Is it right up your alley, or do you want some more features to it? There are too many features to it? If there are too many features to it, they do have the original YoloBox, they also have the YoloBox Mini, and of course the new YoloBox, which is called the InStream. This isn't it, but it basically allows you to do vertical video, which is pretty sweet, and I'm hoping to get my hands on that and do some reviews on that shortly. But right now, we have the YoloBox Pro right here, and there's a lot to this YoloBox that it's just amazing. And even to this one, it's just crazy. You can get them both. You can put a couple cameras here and then have it push over to here and then have it push out there if you wanted to. That's a lot of work. Other than that, I saw a little bit of lag when we went through those different types of transitions, and of course bringing up some of the graphics just a little bit. But so far so good. We still have to hook up the audio to hear how it sounds as well. Do you have a YoloBox? Do you have a YoloBox Mini or a YoloBox Pro? Or do you have the new InStream? Let me know by tweeting me or commenting over at Geekazine. Think Magazine, put in a geek, you got me. Of course, you can follow me on all the socials. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, bell notification, dings away every time I put out a new video. If you don't like the dings, you can do occasional. That's okay. You don't need to do it at all. I'd like to thank you very much. Just at least comment and say what you like the most about the YoloBox Live. And is there any other products you want me to review? Let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for listening. Until next time, you guys geek out and stream on with the YoloBox Pro.